From the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy, Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports. It is a Friday. Yep, we made it to a Friday, and this is the final day of January for 2025. 31st day on a Friday. Anyway, good morning and welcome to Huddle Up. A lot of things to talk about here today. The Nebraska men's basketball team, as I told you on the show yesterday, Nebraska would upset Illinois last night at PPA. Guess what? Nebraska beat Illinois in overtime last night. Final score of 80-74. We'll be talking about that throughout the hour here today. Plus, we got some comments coming up from Husker head coach Fred Hoiberg. But it was a much-needed win for Nebraska. They had lost 6 straight games going into the ball game last night. They had lost 9 games in a row to Illinois dating back to the 2018-2019 season. But the Huskers pulled one off last night, 80-74 in overtime over Illinois. Huskers will now go on the road to play at Oregon on Sunday and a tip-off at 6:30 on the Big Ten Network. The Nebraska women's basketball team, they were on the road last night. They beat Purdue by a score of 74-68. Nebraska will play as well on Sunday. They'll play at Indiana. Tip-off of that game will be at 11, so plenty to talk about in Nebraska men's and women's basketball. Hastings College basketball teams, they have a big weekend as well. They'll play on Saturday at Lynn Farrell Arena. Coming in will be the Dordt Defenders. The Dordt women, they are undefeated on the season and ranked number 1 in the nation. So Hastings College will get to play the nation's number 1 ranked team on this Saturday. The Dordt men, they've got 1 loss, and they're ranked number 8 this week. So a big doubleheader tomorrow at Lynn Farrell Arena with Hastings College taking on the Dordt Defenders. Game times there will be at 2 and at 3:45. We'll have the action here on Extreme Sports beginning with a pregame show at 1:45 tomorrow afternoon. Hastings College baseball team, they were supposed to be in action yesterday at Ottawa. They had rain in Kansas, so the games were canceled yesterday. The Broncos will play their 3rd game of the season on this Saturday as they play at Bellevue. Hastings dropped a couple of games to Ottawa on Wednesday, it would have been. It was a Wednesday-Thursday doubleheader, so the Broncos losing 2 games to Ottawa on Wednesday. Yesterday's games were postponed or canceled because of rain, so they'll be in action again at Bellevue on Saturday. Hastings College softball team, they're going to begin their season tomorrow. They'll play at Ottawa. We'll see how the weather conditions are down there for your Saturday softball. Game times will be at 1 and at 3. We've got Nebraska Kearney to talk about. They were in action last night against Central Missouri, and we had the semifinals in high school basketball last night for the Central Conference Tournament and the Centennial Conference Basketball Tournament. We'll be checking those scores as well. So a lot to talk about here today on Huddle Up. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic. Yeah, Tyson is here. I was trying to steal the show there. I was getting some airtime.
No, I appreciate that as we get rolling here on this Friday morning, and a little bit behind the 8 ball here. Was putting together some news. I looked up at the clock and I'm like, oh no, it's 7 o'clock. I need to get on the air, and so had made a couple switches, clicked a couple buttons, and here we are here on this Friday morning. And a good Friday morning to you, and a good Friday morning to Nebraska basketball as they snapped that losing streak last night, the overtime victory, and all is well in Huskerland.
Yeah, I watched it last night, and as soon as it was over, I couldn't wait to get to my phone because I called it on this show yesterday that Nebraska would upset Illinois, and I immediately text you, Huskers win. So, that was a much-needed win. And, again, we'll get some comments from Fred Hoiberg coming up in just a couple of minutes. But, yeah, a much-needed win. The Huskers didn't look pretty, But you don't have to win pretty. You can win ugly. We got to be gritty and grimy on defense. That's what he talked about this week, being gritty and grimy on defense. And we were just that. We held Illinois to 35.6% shooting in the ball game last night for 17 turnovers. And that was good enough as the Huskers come out of there with an overtime win, 80-74. I don't see you. I see you. I don't hear you. So I'll just roll on here. John Cook, he had his retirement news conference yesterday. If you didn't have a chance to see it, very emotional press conference as John Cook said goodbye to coaching at Nebraska. Brought tears to my eye too, just listening to the press conference. We're going to hear from John Cook before 8 o'clock here this morning as well. You got all your buttons in the right spots now? No, I don't see you at all. Anyway, we'll just roll on here. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for this Friday. Again, you can join us, 402-834-1330 is our telephone number, 402-834-1330. If you'd like to join us on the phone, if you'd like to send us a message on Facebook Live or maybe on Twitch or wherever you're listening to us at this morning, we'll monitor those comments as well. Now I can hear you because I hear your furnace running.
I'm up. Maybe my computer is not quite upright and functional yet here this morning. It's having a few issues on the lagging side of things. So hopefully, as the show progresses, the computer warms up just a little bit. But yeah, we're back. We're here.
All right. Well, I've talked about Husker basketball.
Yeah.
Talked about big win for the Huskers last night. We talked about the Husker women so far. And again, if you'd like to join us, you can do that. 402-834-1330 is our telephone number. Send us a message on Twitch or Facebook Live. We've got lots of people in the lobby already. You want to get to Fred Hoiberg right off the bat here? Because we got some John Cook we're going to hear from today, too.
Yeah, we've got plenty going on. And
yeah,
let's get to Fred.
Let's talk about Husker basketball last night. As we mentioned, it was a game last night where the Huskers broke a 6-game losing streak, and obviously the coach was happy with the win.
Well, I think the biggest thing that I was most pleased with is, we missed a couple right at the rim. I thought Bryce had a great jump stop. I thought we, tried to play through him in the first. We did a better job of coming to a jump stop and playing under control in the paint, but we missed. We missed the shot. And then Connor missed a couple wide open ones that he's going to make, but we kept guarding, and that's what we were looking to get back to. It's obviously not always going to be pretty with this team, but if we guard like we did tonight, we're going to have a chance most nights that we step on the floor. So, even I thought, shots they made late, I thought were very well contested. That's a heck of a team. They're hard to guard. They run a lot of ghost and goblin type screens. Goblin, that's our term. You guys probably don't know what that is, but they run a lot of ghost type actions and slip out. So your communication has to be on point, and I thought we communicated well and, made enough stops to win. And, Bryce was absolutely phenomenal there down the stretch. Raleigh hit a big one in overtime, stepping up, hitting that mid-range shot. And, Bryce just, we rode him all the way to the finish line. And, I'm proud of our guys. We needed this one in a big way, and, now we get an opportunity to go on the road and, play two good teams and two good environments. And we got to get over this one quick, put a game plan in tomorrow, have a good day of practice on the travel day, and hopefully go out west and play well.
And the coach went on to say his team played better on defense in the ball game last night against Illinois.
Yeah, obviously they got a ton of offensive rebounds. It's what they do. They lead the nation in rebounding. And, I was disappointed in a couple of those where we didn't finish off the possession. I think White had 5 offensive rebounds at halftime, 5 of their 10. Those other guys we did a pretty solid job on. And then, second half, some of those 50-50 plays, we got to find a way to finish off those possessions. But again, I thought we kept playing. Some of the other ones we'd give up an offensive rebound and then give up an open three. We kept rotating and contesting and again, made a couple big stops late and got the ball to the right guy. We wanted to get the ball into Bryce's hands, and I thought he made a couple phenomenal plays.
And the coach says it was a much-needed win, but there's still plenty of work to do.
It wasn't crazy in there. Guys obviously very happy. I'll tell you this, winning sure as hell beats losing. It's, much But I did think it was a business-like approach. The guys know that we have to get over it quickly. If we don't, it's going to affect us in our game at Oregon, and it's not going to be pretty. You got to let it go. You can't have a hangover effect. And, like I said, we'll put a game plan together. We'll do some station work tomorrow. We can't put a lot of impact on their bodies with the overtime game. But we got to get over this quick. And then everybody's got to be ready. Braxton's going to have to be ready on this trip. All of our guys. I thought Cale gave us a couple of really good minutes out there today. Gavin's got to be, everybody. Aaron gave us good minutes, I thought, out there as well when Raleigh picked up his second foul. So, that's what it's all about, is going out there making winning plays when your name is called. And we had a lot of guys that made big plays over the course of that 45-minute game.
So again, the Huskers winning last night over Illinois in overtime, 80-74. Nebraska sitting at 13-7 now in the season. They are 3-7 in the conference. And again, they'll play at Oregon on Sunday. They're going to be on the road here for the next few games. And about the trials and tribulations of the Huskers on the road, we don't play well. Anyway, we're going to have to find some way to sneak out a win. And a couple of road games coming up to get back in the race. Tip-off on Sunday will be at 6:30 on the Big Ten Network. So I know we don't have football this weekend, but a good chance to catch the Huskers on the tube. The women will play on Sunday at 11 against Indiana on FS1, and the men will play Sunday night at 6:30 against Oregon on the Big Ten Network. So you can OD on basketball this weekend.
There you go. And I know, like you mentioned, we haven't played very well on the road as of late, but you got to hope like this win is a catalyst. You heard Hoiberg talking about it yesterday prior to the game, where you just got to get that feeling of winning back into the locker room. And get out of the rut of the losing streak, and once you start to win and build upon that positivity and that positive play, good things can start to happen. So yeah, and he even mentioned about the cohesiveness on the road trip, that it's going to be good for the guys to be able to build some of that chemistry together and get on the road. So we'll see what happens here from this point forward. But you got to be excited with what you saw last night. You got to be excited that you're finally off the schneid and that you're able to win one when it mattered in clutch time, where we have historically found ways to lose basketball games down the stretch. We were able to find a way to win down the stretch. So excited moving forward for Big Red. We'll see what spawns out of it, and we'll see if this six game losing streak's behind us, and we can start focusing in and narrowing in on the Big Ten basketball tournament.
Hopefully sneak into the Big Ten.
Yep.
Conference basketball tournament. Anyway, we've got high school basketball tonight. We've got the semifinals of the Central Conference tournament. These games are going to be played out at Adams Central. Adams Central will play the second game tonight against Crete, and they've kind of shuffled game times here in the last 24 hours. So if you're heading out to Adams Central tonight, the first game should be a good one. Northwest will play Aurora. Aurora is the number one seed, and they'll play tonight at 5:30. And then the Adams Central will play the second game against Crete. That game will be at 7. We'll have the Adams Central game for you here on Extreme Sports. Pre-game, if we stay on schedule, will be sometime around 6:45 tonight. So join us, Adams Central and Crete tonight on Extreme Sports. The preceding game will have Northwest playing Aurora. So if we stay on time, somewhere around 6:45 for the pre-game tonight. Then the winners will play tomorrow in Columbus, up at Columbus Lakeview. The girls' semifinals were last night. York beat Crete 38-27, and Seward defeated Northwest by a score of 50-43. So the girls' championship tomorrow up in Columbus, as well as all the consolation games. The Centennial Conference basketball tournament was last night as well. St. Cecilia girls, they ran into the number one seed. And Lincoln Christian is very, very good. Mm-hmm. The Crusaders, they beat St. Cecilia last night 69-23 in the semifinals of the Centennial Conference basketball tournament. They will play in the championship tomorrow against SCOTUS, as the Shamrocks defeated Bishop Neumann in the other semifinal game 62-37. The boys semifinal is going to be played tonight in that Centennial Conference tournament. Grand Island Central Catholic is the number 1 seed. They will be at home tonight against Boys Town, and Omaha Concordia will play at Lincoln Lutheran. So some good conference basketball tournament action for St. Cecilia, and for the Adams Central girls, they'll play in consolation games as well on Saturday. So if you're not in a championship game, you're probably playing in one of the consolation games tomorrow.
Speaking of on time and games running maybe just a little behind schedule, I saw this from a Facebook friend of mine who was doing some photography for the Stanton Mustangs varsity basketball team.
Yeah.
He said that they finally called a JV game last night, a tie, after the third overtime.
I've said that for years, that
Yes.
JV games should
Absolutely.
not go. JV games should not go into overtime.
Mm-hmm.
I've said that for years. I don't know why they play overtime in JV games.
Doesn't count for any standings.
No.
Ended in a draw.
Yeah, who cares?
It's okay.
But I guess if you're playing, you got to play for the win, don't you?
Unless you're, growing up across the pond and you're used to draws being kind of a normal sports
Yeah.
thing.
I've never been a fan of that.
Yep.
And I
But
don't.
I am definitely in JV.
Yeah, I am in JV.
I'm definitely in JV because I got stuff to do and I got a game to broadcast and
They don't care.
you remember back in and especially when you had to deal with like network clocks and everything that was involved, and you had all this work that got shoved into, hey, we're putting this game from a 7 to 9 block, and next thing you know, it's like it might start closer to 8:30 actually.
Yeah.
I've
And
always been a fan of ties in JV. They finally did one after the third overtime.
Yeah, I'm not going to accuse officials of fixing games, but I think in a junior varsity game,
Hell
it's the officials. Yeah, put it on the officials. Don't let it end in a tie.
Yep, don't call. Don't blow the whistle.
Yeah, don't let it end in a tie. Don't award free throws at the end, or better yet, award some free throws at the end. Yep, that was a ticky-tack foul, but we're going to shoot 2 down here, boys.
Right.
We'll shoot 2 because this is a tie ball game at 23 points apiece, and we're not going to end this thing in a tie. So we're going to send Joe Schmuck to the free throw line to see if he can hit 1 out of 2 free throws to end this thing.
I believe the infamous thing that got picked up on a in-house PA system. I think I was doing like South Loop and Selma Myrna one time. This goes back to my time in the Sandhills, and their JV game was going into double overtime at that point. And it was a similar situation where they were blowing the whistle late into that double overtime contest. I was already like an hour behind schedule and an hour away from home, and wasn't really thrilled about it. And I think that I didn't realize that the PA mic had continued to be hot. And as they were driving down the court, I go, if you blow that whistle one more time, I am yanking that thing out of your mouth. And I said it pretty loud, and it got picked up, and everyone behind me started clapping. And I'm like, oh no, thank you.
That's good.
Yeah, it was one of my infamous Sandhills quotes.
Yeah, put that in your book.
You put that thing in your mouth one more time, I'm yanking it out.
That's funny. I went over the PA system. That's neat.
Good stuff.
Anyway, 7:18, you're waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Again, love to have you join us. 402-834-1330 is our telephone number, 402-834-1330. We see lots of folks in the lobby, so if you'd like to leave us a message, sports-related or not, whatever is on your mind here today, leave us a message, and we'll get to those throughout the hour. Get a quick news update here as we continue on, rolling on through a Friday morning.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Local news this hour brought to you by the Hastings Federal Credit Union, where they've been lighting the way to financial success since 1946. Hastings Federal Credit Union, proud to be your trusted long-term financial partner. As a nonprofit financial cooperative, the credit union is owned by the members who join. And joining, well, it's as simple as opening a primary savings account. They're committed to providing the highest level of quality services. The Hastings Federal Credit Union providing banking services to all those living or working in Adams, Clay, Webster, Nuckolls, Thayer, and Fillmore counties. And with affordable loan rates, mobile banking, and a friendly staff that treats you like family, why would you go anywhere else? That's Hastings Federal Credit Union, 707 North Marion Road, or online hastingsfcu.org. Hastings Federal Credit Union is an equal housing lender. We will start off this morning with Central Community College news. They are one of 6 colleges and universities that have been recognized for outstanding climate action efforts. Second Nature, a national nonprofit dedicated to accelerating climate action in and through higher education, has announced the inaugural Climate Luminary Honors recipients. The institutions are recognized for their leadership and innovation approaches to addressing climate challenges across 5 different categories: decarbonization, justice, community, workforce, and research. Alongside a special award for climate resiliency in action, CCC was honored for its workforce efforts. Meanwhile, up north in Grand Island, the Greater Grand Island Community Foundation is excited to announce a $12,000 donation to the Big Brothers Big Sisters campaign to launch their innovative new program, Bigs with Badges. The program aims to connect first responders and law enforcement officers with the youth in the community, fostering mentorship, trust, and positive relationships. The donation, made through a discretionary grant from the Fund for Greater Grand Island, reflects the Foundation's ongoing commitment to creating meaningful community impact. It's coming up on 7:22. Mike, we'll swing things back over to you. What's going down in sports?
Well, again, the Nebraska men's basketball team upset 18th-ranked Illinois, 80-74 in overtime last night at PBA. Bryce Williams scored 27 points for the Huskers, including 8 in the extra session. Nebraska forced 17 turnovers in the game and held Illinois to just 35.6% shooting. The win snaps a 6-game losing streak for the Huskers and a 9-game losing streak to the Fighting Illini that dates back to the 2018-2019 season. Nebraska now 13-7 on the season, 3-7 in the conference. They'll play at Oregon on Sunday. Tip-off will be at 6:30 on the Big Ten Network. The Nebraska women's basketball team beat Purdue 74-68 last night at Mackey Arena in West Lafayette, Indiana. Freshman Brent Prince scored 11 of her game-high 23 points in the fourth quarter. Nebraska is now 16-5 on the season, 7-3 in the conference. They'll play at Indiana on Sunday. Tip-off will be at 11 on FS1. Hastings College basketball teams will play host to Dordt tomorrow at Lynn Farrell Arena. The Dordt women are undefeated, and they're ranked number 1 in the nation. The Dordt men have just 1 loss this year. They're ranked 8th this week. The women's game is at 2 with the men to follow at 3:45. Coverage begins at 1:45 tomorrow here on Extreme Sports. Hastings College baseball team had their games at Ottawa canceled yesterday. The Broncos are 0-2 in the season and will play at Bellevue on Saturday. Hastings College softball team is scheduled to begin their season tomorrow at Ottawa. Game times will be at 1 and at 3 o'clock. The Nebraska Kearney men's basketball team beat Central Missouri 57-52 last night. The Lopers are now 7-11. They're 5-5 in the MIAA. In the women's game, UNK lost to Central Missouri 62-54. The Lopers now 15-4. They're 8-2 in the conference. Both teams will play at Washburn on Saturday. Hastings St. Cecilia girls basketball team dropped a 69-23 decision to Lincoln Christian last night in the semifinals of the Centennial Conference basketball tournament. In the other game, Scotus defeated Bishop Neumann 62-37. In the Central Conference tournament, the York girls beat Crete 38-27, and Seward defeated Northwest 50-43. The boys semifinals will be played tonight. In the Centennial Conference Tournament, Grand Island Central Catholic will play host to Boys Town, and Omaha Concordia is at Lincoln Lutheran. In the Central Conference Tournament at Adams Central tonight, Northwest will play Aurora in the first game at 5:30, followed by Adams Central and Crete at 7. We'll have the Adams Central game for you tonight here on Extreme Sports, beginning with the pregame show at about 6:45 tonight. That's a check on your sports headlines, 7:24 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Well, the rain chances are now gone, and we ended up with 13/100ths of an inch of rain. Not much. We'll take what we can get. Now, warmer weather returns and wind as well. Hey, everybody, Tim Jones here, Nebraska Weather TV. Plenty of sunshine today, a high of 50 degrees, and winds gusting up to 30 miles per hour. Overnight tonight, we'll dip back down to the upper 20s under a mostly clear sky. 57 on Saturday, partly sunny. Same on Sunday, and then we're back to the 40s as we go back to work next week.
Right now, as you wake up, get going, we've got north winds at 14. It is 31 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
I'm John Butler, Funeral Director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the Advanced Funeral Planning Specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Extreme Sports has been bringing you the exclusive home of Hastings College Athletics, and we're just getting started. Thanks to our incredible sponsors and your support, Extreme Sports 2 has been a huge success. And now we're excited to announce the launch of Extreme Sports 3. With Extreme Sports 3, you'll get even more local sports coverage. Plus, 24/7 access to Sports by Line, where you'll hear the best in national sports talk. Whether it's Hastings College, high school action, or the latest from around the sports world, we've got it covered across all 3 streams. And don't forget, when we're not broadcasting games, join us weekday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. for Huddle Up with Mike Will and Tyson Havronik. It's the perfect way to start your day with sports, news, weather, and great local interviews. So tune in, check out all 3 streams, and stay with us for even more sports coverage coming soon. Thank you to our sponsors for making it all possible, and to you, our listeners, for keeping Extreme Sports strong.
All right, Mike Will, Tyson Havronik, Friday morning, the 31st day of January. Last day of the month and last day of the work week. I like that.
Last day of the work week. It's not, by the way, for all those that are waking up, just rolling out of bed thinking, thank God it's Saturday. It's not, because that's what I did. But I rolled the curtain back just a little bit. My alarm went off this morning, and I says, well, what are you doing, alarm?
You thought it was Saturday?
It's Saturday morning. What are you doing, alarm clock? And so I turned it off, and I rolled back around and went to bed. And then I had this all of a sudden just sheer flight of panic, and I pop straight up. I'm like, it's not Saturday. It's Friday. Oh no. And so I run over here and get set for the studios. I also want to pull the curtain back a little bit. The IT guy's not going to like this, but I think that there's going to be some people in our lobby that can sympathize with me as a non-IT person. Updates on your computer.
Yeah.
Apparently, every now and then when an update becomes available, that you should click on that. But here's what happens is I get the update message at about, 7:35 each morning when we're in mid-flight, when we're in mid-conversation, when we're in mid-show, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to update that. I'm just going to hit snooze. Well, apparently I hit snooze too long on the update thing, and that caused some of the connection issues here on the lag this morning. So
really,
we'll get that sorted out over the course of the weekend.
Yeah, you can.
The IT guy's pulling his hair out right now, listening to me say that.
Go ahead and get your updates over the weekend because we're not here on Saturday and Sunday.
We're not here Saturday and Sunday, so I admit to that. I continued to hit snooze, and I apparently hit snooze for about 14 shows too long, and now here
all of a sudden it says, "Hey, idiot! I need to give you this update." Moron! I'm just going to go ahead and update this right now.
Right. If you would have just remembered or picked remind me in 6 hours as opposed to remind me tomorrow, because when you hit remind me tomorrow, it will remind you at the same time. So yeah, there's the update factor, the slept in maybe just a little too long factor, but we are back and operational. Just wanted to I don't hide any secrets here on the show.
Yeah,
I am who I am. This is what you get.
Well, look on the bright side. You don't have far to go to get to your studio. No, you really don't have far to go. It's not like you have to hop in the buggy and drive across town.
Yeah, I mean it's 7:05.
Yeah,
not like when we had to be there at 6 and be on the air.
Yeah,
and it was 6:30.
It's much easier.
Sometime it's a little bit easier to get rolling. Wanted to hit up and highlight a couple days today.
Yeah,
we have got National Backwards Day today, so we're doing everything in reverse. It is also National Hot Cocoa Day today.
Wow.
For those who celebrate that. Chocolate.
That's pretty exciting.
So we got Hot Cocoa Day. We have got National Backwards Day. I think I saw one more. Hang on. Just really quick. Let me pull it back up. I had this memorized 3 seconds ago. And pulling up the day card. National Backwards Day. It is, oh yeah. We're having fun at work day today. Have fun at work day today.
I got a big day planned today.
You're gonna have some fun. You're gonna have some fun in conference basketball.
Well, that's tonight, but my plate is full today.
What? I had a full plate yesterday.
So, let's see a couple other sports notes. Ravens kicker Justin Tucker is accused of inappropriate sexual behavior by 6 massage therapists.
Lord, what is with these NFL players and massages?
In the Baltimore area. Tucker's conduct, according to an article posted by the Banner on Thursday, caused some therapists to refuse to work with him again. It resulted in 2 spas banning him from returning. The allegations reportedly occurred between 2012 and 2016, which were Tucker's first 5 seasons in the NFL. So, bad things happen at the massage therapist.
Bad things happen when... Bad things happen. This is Robert Kraft was the first.
Yeah.
Then it was Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson.
Now it's Justin Tucker. Is it just this ego sense where I'm an NFL player, so you'll do whatever I want?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, he's denying the allegations, so we'll see where this goes.
I kind of hope he's right, but God, what is with this?
Michaela Blake's in the news today. She scored an SEC women's basketball record 53 points last night.
Nice.
Made 16 field goals and 16 free throws to help Vanderbilt beat Florida by the score of 99-86. Yeah, 53 points, great outing.
That's good effort.
For Michaela Blake's. Here we go. How was your gambling during the latter part of the football season?
You can ask my bookie. He'll let you know.
Up and down?
He's still trying to ask me, so...
Football bettors in Nevada beat the sports books out of $2.1 million in the month of December.
Pricks.
The first monthly loss during the NFL regular season for the state's bookmakers in 12 years. So Joe Public, during the month of December.
That's when you got hot, wasn't it?
That's when I got hot because I was on a lot of public bets. It's only the 13th losing month on football bets during the regular season in the state's history of gambling.
What was I missing that month?
Well, you were on all the dogs.
What was the low-hanging fruit that I was missing in the month of December? Why is my bookie texting me saying, hey, want to do lunch? Which means is code for, hey, you owe me money. And no, I don't. I don't want to see you right now.
Let's see. Favorites won 76.7% of the games outright in December. Highest winning percentage since 2005 and the fourth highest in the Super Bowl era. The Chalk also covered the spread in 59% of the games during the month. The favorites won in December, but you know what? The bookmakers made that money back on basketball bets.
This is what I'm saying. You can't bet the sport.
Yeah, so
you can't bet it.
Joe Public during the month of December had a great outing, at least in Vegas, which means the trend continues all the way across the nation usually, and the favorites covered the spread a lot of the times during December. So there you go.
Here's what scares me about that, Mike. Because if Vegas lost their butt on football in December,
they'll get it back.
You know that they're going to have like that half point on the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
That juice that gets the voters to go after it. That's going to screw everybody.
Well, you know how they make their money in the Super Bowl is all those stupid prop bets.
Those are so stupid.
I know, but you get.
You're going to do them.
You'll do them.
You are.
I already heard a couple of them that I was interested in, and I haven't even got the official sheet out yet.
That's outstanding.
I just heard it on the network guys here on this network.
Yeah.
They were talking about some of the props, and I said, "Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, I'll probably bet." No, I'm not going to bet that. I said this year I'm not going to bet the prop bets, but I will.
But yeah, I mean, I know it's like saying that I'm going to take a fantasy football team and alleviate it from my plate, because and then I end up adding one more. To the plate.
You do stupid things.
Hell, I'm in 4 freaking leagues, man, and every year I'm like, I'm going to take one team off. I'm gonna find one league that I don't want to do, and then somebody else comes along. Hey, I got fantasy football draft coming up. You interested? Yes, sir, I am. And next thing you know, we got 5 leagues. Next year we're going to have more fantasy football leagues than I got fingers.
Let's see, what else is going on?
What else is going on?
ESPN has agreed to pick up its option to continue broadcasting ACC sports through 2036. They were evidently at the end of their contract agreement with the ACC. They decided to pick up their option, so ACC sports will continue to be broadcast a lot on ESPN through 2036.
Very nice.
That's
Very nice.
Couple of things bubbling behind the headlines that I wanted to tell you about this morning.
Yeah, and we've got some more headlines with John Cookie at his press conference yesterday. Wanted to hit this really quick. Was really impressed with the ceremony at the basketball game last night for John Cook and DBK, Danny Buss, Boom Kelly, as they kind of did the ceremonial passing of the torch at Pinnacle Bank Arena. I thought that was just really fantastically done by the athletic department. Before we dive into Cook, but I know he had his press conference yesterday, met with reporters, and certainly had a lot of thoughts and fond memories of the University of Nebraska.
A lot of tears.
Yeah,
a lot of tears. In fact, I caught myself tearing up. So I'm going to play some stuff from that presser yesterday. You might want to
grab the Kleenex.
Grab the Kleenex, because when we get done here, you'll probably be behind the wheel of your car heading to work crying. And I don't mean it to be that way, right? But it was just kind of an emotional scene yesterday.
Yeah, when you get to your receptionist and you're kind of got tears and you're like, oh, what's wrong? I was just listening to Extreme Sports and John Cook.
You know, I really didn't get to make my retirement notice at my previous job. Hell, they just fired me.
But yeah, I mean,
it's better
that way.
Well, that way they didn't have to throw me a party or anything.
No
cheap
party.
passes. The
No
cheap
party.
asses.
Yep.
Cheap asses didn't have to throw me a party or anything.
Mm-hmm. No party, no acceptance speech, no,
I
recognition.
I didn't get to do it. Little did they know I was going to be on the air 2 weeks later.
And stealing most of their schools.
Yeah. Yeah, cheap asses.
That's how it works.
They didn't give me my retirement party. Probably like John Cook. He's going to have a retirement party, I imagine. He's going to stay on, it looks like. He's going to stay on and work with athletic director Troy Dannon. So Johnny Boy's going to stay on, and he'll help Danny Busboom Kelly with whatever she needs help with.
Consultant.
In a transition period.
Yep.
Anyway, John held his retirement press conference yesterday in Lincoln.
Neil Young, I think, is one of the greatest musicians ever, and there's a song that I've listened to for 30 years from him, and he talks about it's better to burn out than fade out. I've always approached that I was going to go as hard as I could, and when the day came and I felt like I've done enough, and that's what happened last week. And my daughter's having another baby. That's also part of it. And I've missed a lot with my kids. But I want to be there for those grandkids. Also, Coach Pettit left this program in a great spot for me. And I feel like Nebraska volleyball is in the best spot it's ever been since I've been here with our team. And I'm talking about our team's going to be a great team. They have a chance to be a great team. But this team, just to give you an example, I met with him yesterday. Troy talked to him, did an amazing job. Of course, there's emotion. Sports, it's what you want. The first thing they did, they go, we need 5 minutes. They went and met, and they started talking about how they're going to support Danny. To me, that validated it all. So I feel really good about putting Danny in a position to keep this program going. And we've learned lessons here since I've been here in the last 25 years, how it can go bad. And we got to do everything we can to keep Nebraska volleyball going. And Danny's, she's the right person. So I feel really good about handing this over, and it feels like it's the right time.
And he went on to talk about Danny Busboom Kelly.
For Danny, she's done one of the greatest turnarounds in the history of college volleyball. 8 years, she's been to 3 Final Fours, played for 2 national championships, in a program that was a mess. And the fact that she coached here, and I don't know if you guys know this, but she also played here, won a national championship, and when she said she wanted to go into coaching, I said, Danny, you got to go away from here. And she went to some tough programs, Louisville, Tennessee, I can remember there's one other one, and then she came back here to coach, and we won another national championship, and then she's gone on to Louisville. She bleeds Husker.
And the coach says that he wanted to go out on top.
I've had more fun coaching the last 2 years with this group than I can remember coaching. It's been a blast, and I've always wanted to go out on top when it's really fun and I'm enjoying a group. I didn't want to go out where, God, it's miserable. It's time, I want to get out. And so that was one of the hardest things, and I tried to explain that to our team. I have so much love and respect for them, and they're so much fun to be around, and they're just a great group. That was the time to go out feeling it like I was at the top. And also, if you look at the last 10 years here, it's been the most successful, the greatest run we've had since I've been the coach here. And so, again, I just feel like we're at the top of our game, and it's a great time to be a cheerleader now.
And John Cook went on to say he just had a gut feeling that this is the right time to step away.
I don't know if there was a light bulb moment. It's just a feeling. And I've talked to some other people who have retired or just retired, friends of mine. And, of course, I've studied Saban and those guys. It just was a feeling. And it was I started feeling it, and like Troy said, I came in and tried. I think we need to start talking about a succession plan. Is that now? Is it 9 months from now? What is it? And just as we started moving through it, and talking to Danny, it just felt like now was the right time for her, for me, and for the program and the team. I want to give her the best shot and the best runway going into this season, and so. I think that was the biggest part, but there wasn't a moment. It was just a feeling that started happening, and it was hard to work through. I mean, I've had a knot in my stomach for weeks, but like I told you all the things, I just feel really good where our program's at and where our team's at. I'm content. I feel like I've done everything I can do. I mean, what's left to do? There's going to be a new challenge out there. We're going to open at PBA. That's going to be one. And these are ones for Danny now to take on, and Kelly and Jalen and our Lindsay. There's going to be new things. The revenue share is new. That's going to be a whole nother animal to tackle. I think the Big Ten, there could be some type of tournament. So there's just going to be a lot of new things, and I just think I've done everything. The only thing left to do was to continue to try to win more games. And so I just felt like it's time to make that change now, and it was a feeling, and it's a freeing feeling, and it's am I going to miss it? Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm going to miss it. But I'm going to be the biggest cheerleader.
All right, so that's John Cook, just some of his comments he made yesterday in his retirement press conference held in Lincoln. So, for the first time, Johnny Boy probably don't have a lot to do this weekend. He's probably got some honey-do things on the list.
Stupid star.
Honey, we got to take that stupid star down from Christmas. You got time to go out and get that done? Oh, his wife will be nagging at him.
Can't wait.
I don't know her, but I bet she's got a honey-do list that's a mile long.
E chiming in on Twitch, on the Twitch comments here this morning. So does Cook now go on the wait list for season tickets? Oh, that's good stuff. Good stuff.
I bet he gets tickets.
I think he'll be okay. He did have hashtag sarcasm next to it.
I know.
So,
that's kind of neat.
I also appreciate the people that are putting hashtag sarcasm now, because sometimes you can't read tone. You can do a lot of things, and I've actually ended a lot of relationships because I couldn't read. We're such a text savvy generation now, but you can't read tone. And when you think that, you automatically assume that somebody is mad at you because that's the way they always are, and then they send you a question, you're always on the defensive. You can't read tone. So I appreciate the new trend is now putting hashtag sarcasm, just so that you can read it in a sarcastic tone. It's
or better
funny.
Better yet, just pick up the phone and call them.
No.
Why? You don't like talking on your phone?
Nope. I don't do it. And I finally got my parents are finally adapting to the fact that I won't do it.
So when your phone rings, you don't answer?
Correct. When my phone rings, I don't answer, and there is, as of currently, 27 voicemails. My voicemail inbox is full, and it's going to stay that way. Because if I didn't answer it, a few weeks ago, I'm not going to respond to it now. No, I don't answer the phone.
So really, you use your cell phone just for texting purposes only?
And I think we've had this conversation before. My voicemail legitimately says, hey, I'm not around my phone right now, but I might be. Send me a text.
And it says your voicemail is always full because you never erase them.
But it tells you to send the text message. And if you're calling from a cell phone, you can certainly send me a text message and let me know if this is a priority that I need to put in my life right now.
What happens if somebody's calling from the old style phone?
Do those still exist?
Yeah. Like a business.
No.
What happens if a business is trying to get a hold of you?
You know what? There's a really legitimate possibility that I've had opportunities in this industry, maybe to work for a AAA affiliate or a AA affiliate to be their radio voice. It's possible Johnson City, Tennessee called me up and says, hey, would you like to work for WMOX and be the voice of the Johnson City Redbirds, and I never got that opportunity because I never answered my phone.
Wow.
It's possible. I don't know.
Wow. I'll have to remember that if I need to get a hold of you. Send a text, huh? Because you're not going to answer.
How can you? Oh, yeah. Shaner. He said, how can you live all day with those little red numbers? Oh, you don't know the half of it, my man. You think the phone is bad. It's got 27 on the little red numbers. He hates the little red numbers.
Yeah.
You think that's bad? You should look at my email. 1,148.
1,000?
On my personal email.
Yeah.
That I rarely ever check because I've got the work email here with Extreme, and I've got the work email over at CCC. And so the one that I rarely check is my personal one. But people are apparently still sending me stuff to my personal one. Although I never check it, it's at 1,148.
Wow. Looks like you need to spend a little time in the office sometime this weekend. Well, your office that you're in. Your office that you're in. Yeah, your office that you're in right now. You need to spend a little time with your computer this weekend and maybe clear some of those out.
Oh, no, this is on my phone. This is on the cell phone.
Are you kidding me?
Those little red numbers that...
Yeah.
When you get... Yeah, 1,148.
Are you kidding me?
No.
You need to spend some time with your phone.
That's why I'm still waiting for a reply from 2007. Eric says, was that sarcasm? No, that's legit. I have 1,000 emails that are unread right now. That will stay unread. I have 249 notifications on Messenger that I've never opened.
I'm with the IT guy. How can you stand all those numbers on your phone?
You get used to them.
Right now, I've got 36.
That's a lot for you.
Well, I haven't got into it yet today. I'll clear them out here as soon as the show's over. Yeah, I hate those.
You have 36 notifications just from
yesterday.
Yesterday?
I'm trying to run a business, my man. I'm trying to run a business.
That's a lot of notifications.
Well, like 36. That's in my email box. I got 36 emails I got to go through this morning.
There you go.
That's not bad.
I guess, yeah, now that I think about it, when you're talking about the business side of things, I mean, I remember going through about 90.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll get 90 over the weekend. 90 to 100.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I just haven't been on the business side of things for a while, so.
So then Sunday night, I sit down and go through like 150 messages and emails.
Do you go through them individually, or do you like select all and delete?
I usually try to look at each one individually.
Wow.
Well, you never can tell what you're going to miss.
Yep. Eric's kind of like me. He hits select all and hits red.
Well, what happens if you miss something?
I don't know.
I look at each one individually, which takes me forever, like on the weekends.
I was going to say, like, your weekend shot.
That's why my wife always yells at me. I usually do that on Sunday sometimes. Why you just sit there on your computer all day? Somebody's got to go through these. Some of them might be kind of important. We're trying to run a business here.
Sure.
Trying to run a business.
And what?
Somebody
Sundays?
might need us.
When are you going to get besides Sunday? I mean, I get it, but I'm not gonna go through individually. If you need something, you can text. I was gonna say call, and then I'm like, wait, we just had this discussion. I text people.
Unbelievable.
Text first, baby.
All right, so you need to get a hold of Tyson. Text him because he's not going to answer. He's not going to read his email. Text him.
Yes, thank you. It's 2025. Good morning, everybody.
It's 7:53 here on Extreme Sports. Thanks for joining us.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
News this hour brought to you by the Hastings Federal Credit Union, where they have been part of the community since 1946. And community, well, it's at the heart of everything they do. You can get from point A to point B and everywhere in between with a low-rate vehicle loan. Whether you're committed to camping or love living the lake life, you can also count on the Hastings Federal Credit Union to finance your next big toy. They even do personal loans for life's little curveballs. So with the affordable low rates, the convenient repayment options, and a friendly local staff that knows you by name, why don't you see for yourself what the credit union difference is all about? That's Hastings Federal Credit Union, 707 North Marion Road, or online hastingsfcu.org. Hastings Federal Credit Union is an equal housing lender. We'll start first with news from one of my other employers, Central Community College. Better get this out of the way here on the show. One of 6 colleges and universities that have been recognized for outstanding climate action efforts. Second Nature, a national nonprofit dedicated to accelerating climate action in and through higher education, has announced its inaugural Climate Luminary Honors recipients. The institutions are recognized for their leadership and innovative approaches to addressing climate challenges across 5 different categories: decarbonization, justice, community, workforce, and research. Alongside a special award for climate resiliency in action, Central Community College was honored for its workforce efforts. Meanwhile, the Greater Grand Island Community Foundation has announced a $12,000 donation to Big Brothers Big Sisters to launch their innovative new program, Bigs with Badges. The program, aiming to connect the first responders and law enforcement officers with the youth in the community, fostering mentorship, trust, and positive relationships. The donation, made through a grant from the Fund for Greater Grand Island, that's a mouthful, reflects the Foundation's ongoing commitment to creating meaningful community impact. It's 7:56. We'll swing it back over to you, Mike. What's going down in sports?
Well, again, the Nebraska men's basketball team upset 18th-ranked Illinois, 80-74 in overtime last night at PBA. Huskers are now 13-7, 3-7 in the conference. They'll play at Oregon on Sunday. Tip-off will be at 6:30 on the Big Ten Network. The Nebraska women, they beat Purdue 74-68 last night in West Lafayette, Indiana. Huskers now 16-5. They're 7-3 in the conference. They will play at Indiana on Sunday. Tip-off at 11 on FS1. Hastings College and Dordt tomorrow at Lynn Farrell Arena. Game times will be at 2 and at 3:45 on the air with a pregame show at 1:45 here on Extreme Sports. Hastings College baseball team will play at Bellevue tomorrow. The softball team opens up their season tomorrow at Ottawa. The Nebraska Kearney men's basketball team beat Central Missouri last night. The women lost to Central Missouri. UNK will play at Washburn on Saturday. St. Cecilia girls basketball team losing to Lincoln Christian last night in the semifinals of the Centennial Conference basketball tournament, 69-23. Boys semifinals going to be played tonight in both the Centennial Conference and the Central Conference. We'll have basketball tonight from Adams Central as the Patriots will take on the Creek Cardinals tonight. Scheduled tip-off time at about 7. Pregame show 6:45 tonight on Extreme Sports. Coming up on 7:58.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Well, the rain chances are now gone, and we ended up with 13/100ths of an inch of rain. Not much. We'll take what we can get. Now, warmer weather returns and wind as well. Hey, everybody, Tim Jones here, Nebraska Weather TV. Plenty of sunshine today, a high of 50 degrees, and winds gusting up to 30 miles per hour. Overnight tonight, we'll dip back down to the upper 20s under a mostly clear sky. 57 on Saturday, partly sunny. Same on Sunday, and then we're back to the 40s as we go back to work next week.
Right now, north winds at 14. It is 31 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities. including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
All right, Mike Will, Tyson Urbanic, a Friday morning here, the 31st day of January for 2025. You see the comment on...
Yeah, I'm getting red dirty today.
Yeah.
The audience is just kind of throwing me out for the Wolves. Sometimes don't always respond to text either. Sometimes I do the mental response, and I mentally respond to you, but I'm busy doing something at that time and thinking, I'll remember to text her back or remember to text him back or whoever it is. And then 3 days later, I get question mark, question mark, question mark. Yeah, I do that. I'm guilty. Mental
Here's
responses.
Somebody's waiting for a reply from you from 2007.
That's Shaner. Yep, he's still waiting for an email reply.
You might want to change your communication habits.
I'm too late now. Too late now.
Your phone's going to go in overload with all those messages. They'll probably shut down because you got so many messages that you haven't read yet.
Update?
It might need an update like your computer.
Yeah, he's pleased.
As soon as we get off of the air, you better update your computer.
You got to do a turn off, turn on again.
Yeah. Let it update.
Well, good time for it because it's over the weekend. So,
yeah.
Speaking of which, as you mentioned, softball getting underway over the weekend. So I know Little E, a fan of the show, and on the staff for the Broncos, and so good luck as they get set for their month-long journey over in Kansas and get the season underway. And
we'll see.
Man, excited to get these spring sports going.
Well, we'll see because the baseball team, they couldn't play at Ottawa yesterday because of rain. We'll see if it's cleared up enough for the softball team. They're going to go down there and play.
There you go.
They're going to play tomorrow.
We'll see.
It should be all right by then.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, Hastings College softball, baseball going to play this weekend. Basketball teams with a tough doubleheader tomorrow against Dortch. And then we got high school basketball tonight beginning at 6:45 pregame show here on Extreme Sports, Adams Central and Crete. So that's my weekend.
Sounds good.
Weekend. So anything going on for you? Anything special?
Just
gonna hang out phone.
Gonna hang out. Give my computer an old update. Working Saturday morning down at the brew pub, and got rehearsal coming up on Sunday. Probably should get this out of the way. Was on TV yesterday, by the way, for those that didn't catch the 5:00 show. I'm in a show for the Grand Island Little Theater. Invisible Eddie is coming up in the first 2 weeks of February. First 2 weekends, I should say. So we've been busy at rehearsals, and coming up next week is going to be Tech Week, so it's all systems go. And,
so do you have a spot in this production?
Yeah. Yep, got a spot. I'm on the poster.
Really?
Yep, you can see my wonderful chest hair. It's great. But I play.
What are you? Who are you?
I get to play the role of like a six-figure millionaire boss, a CEO.
Wow!
How they give? Fun.
Yeah, how did they give you that role?
It's the first role in the theater production that I haven't been typecasted for, because previously I have played a bartender, or a radio guy.
Well, that's right up your alley.
Right up the alley, and they give me a call. But this time they said, "Hey, we have a role that we think that you would have a lot of fun playing," and I'm like,
a millionaire.
A millionaire.
Like you have any knowledge of how they're supposed to act?
And I don't. And it's been fun because it's just like I'm envisioning myself as a millionaire or how I would act as a millionaire, so it's just over the top. It's over the top. I guess I did play Joe Pesci, which was fun.
All right, might have to check that out.
Yeah, coming up the first 2 weekends in February, and coming up next week, I think I'll snag one of the cast members to join us on the show.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
I think we'll have a lot of fun. So get set and put it on your calendars. Coming up, githeater.org. Check out some more details. Invisible Eddie. I figured I should, since it was public yesterday on the TV, might as well announce it here.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, have yourself a great weekend. We'll do it again Monday morning at 7. Here on Extreme Sports.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on Extreme Sports.
Not necessarily